still figuring it out, and I'm alone doing this whole video. And at one point it stopped, and I was like, you know what? I'm not in this whole thing of doing two videos and trying to put them together and the whole editing thing. So I'm gonna go back to the live like before, because after doing it the last time, it was so easy, and I still have the option to edit here, but I'm not going to be doing that, guys. I don't have time. The days are already short, and I did say I wanted to do a haul video of what I'm wearing for, not a haul video, a fall video of what I'm wearing in the fall season. And I've just not had the time. The days are going off really quickly. And so I'm just gonna get in this video and post it. Yeah. Sorry ahead of time for any mistakes. Yeah, that's what happens when you go live and it's not edited. So I apologize in advance. Okay. So this episode, guys, yeah, for the most part, it was interesting. I was there watching it the whole time. And what I need to do next time is maybe do a live watch and comment. Yeah. Because I was cracking up and I had so much good material then. And then, now I'm trying to do this after watching it, and you forget one or two details, and that's where the editing part comes in, because you can try and recap. But first couple, guys, is you're gonna talk about is Avery and Omar. Okay, so Avery's going back to the States now. She's heading off to the airport with Omar, and Avery's brokenhearted. It's the toughest thing for her. It's the saddest day for her, and it's the toughest thing she's ever had to do, and that is leave her husband behind. The love of her life behind. And she's not looking forward to this at all, but it's something she has to do because I guess she's on her visitor's visa, and not only that, she has to go back to the States to prepare for Omar's visa if possible, so they can be together again soon. And they're at the airport, and Avery's crying the whole time in the car. She's like, I'm going to miss you so much. And she's at the airport, and it's time to check in, and she's like, check-in can wait a little bit. I don't want to check in yet, because normally after you check in, soon after it's time to go through checkpoint, get your luggage checked and get into the lounge area. So she's delaying that. She's getting her last hugs, her last touch, her last kisses from Omar, and she's just holding on to that every last bit of that. And we can see that Omar as well, he's probably a bit happy to get rid of Avery because of her constant moaning about the fact that, you're not showing emotions the way I want you to. And, you're not doing this and you're not doing that. Yeah, for the most part, he is going to miss his wife, because Omar is, one thing we can ascertain is that Omar is happy to be married to Avery. He's happy to be a husband. And, he's going to miss Avery. Yeah, how can you not miss somebody you spent 2 weeks they've been together? You've been spending every moment of your time together, and as newlyweds, they're doing everything. Then everything is new and fresh. So yeah, Avery's delaying all of that. She's rubbing Omar's beard. She's like, who's going to be playing in your beard when I'm gone? And he's like, and who's going to be playing in your hair? He smiled and he said that, and I thought that was really sweet. And then, it's time for Avery. Avery did her checking in. It's time for her to go to the lounge area to go through security. And she's like, can you please come with me? And Omar's like, babe, I can't. I'm not allowed to. And she's like, and she starts crying. So, Omar hugs her again, and, he tells her he's going to miss her. And, that things will work out. And he walks her up to the, as far as he could with the bags. And, he's like, let me give you a hug because I can't come any further. And, later Omar's telling us that, even though women are more emotional creatures, and obviously Avery is the more emotional one, inside he's really tearing up, it's hard for him as well. And, on the inside he's tearing apart. And the cameraman asks him, does Avery know this? And he says, yeah, she should. Because it's all in the eyes, and the eyes don't lie. So yeah, I felt it for them. We're playing all this sad music when they were going. Omar went back in the taxi and he looked so sad, like he was almost tearing up, but he's just like not actually crying, but you could see that he was really sad that Avery was gone. And of course, Avery's crying the whole time. And I felt it for them, because I understand that situation of being apart from the person you love and you want to be with. And just like Avery in my case, I went back to Jamaica to do some paperwork, and it was hard to leave the person you love behind, even though it's a permanent situation and you're going to be doing things that are important. But it's so I really understood that, and I felt it for them. So Avery is back in the US now. Apparently it was a 30-hour flight, she said. I don't know if it's actually a 30-hour flight or the whole process is 30 hours, maybe between connections and everything. Because I'm like, 30 hours of flying? But anyways, she's back in the US. Her parents are happy to welcome her back home. Mommy's happy to see her baby. Her stepfather and her mom are going to pick her up at the airport, and they're excited that she's back. And I'm sure the mom has told the dad what Avery plans to do, So yeah, they're happy that she's back home. And she greets them at the airport, and she tells the dad that, hey dad, I brought some stuff back for you. And no, they're back in the car driving back home, and the father is like, how was the trip? And she told him, it was great, And the father is letting her know that she finds out that she has plans to go stay in Syria. And what's up with that? And Avery's hanging on to her own her stubborn self. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna go back to Syria, while this whole process is happening. If it works out, it's still gonna take a little time, and I want to be with my husband during that time. And I guess if it doesn't work out, I guess the plan is to stay with him wherever. So the father is like, yeah, but do you realize that when you're in Syria, there's no way that we can reach you? Yeah, we're unable to reach you, and you're basically on your own. And she's like, I know, and it's not, I don't care, it's not important, this is what I'm going to be doing because I want to be with my husband. The father says he understands, yes, that she wants to be with her husband. He understands that, but Avery is being a bit drastic. And then the mom is like, but because apparently Avery's going to be going back to Syria for a month, while the soon after she files for the whole process, she's going back pretty soon. That's the plan, to go back with Omar's sister to Syria. And the mom is like, okay, but with work, how is that going to work out? You're going off for a month, and Avery's like, I already spoke to them. I basically told everybody but you until the last minute. And mom was, quite hurt by that. She's like, how did you, tell them at work and never said anything to me? And, Avery, with her little attitude again, kicks in sometimes. And she's like, well, they're not going to be crying and screaming and, walking off and getting mad like you do. And the father was like quick to, to dress her up, as the man here, like, don't be disrespectful to your mom. He's like, yeah, but that's your job. Your job is basically there for you to work for them and make them money. And you're just another person. If anything happens to you, it doesn't matter. They can get somebody else if you're gone. We are your parents, and so it's our business to be concerned. So yeah, he didn't say all of that, but he was like, yeah, we're your parents, so we have a right to be concerned about this. Yeah, because we're your parents. And yes, even though she's 18 or is it 19, they still feel responsible for her. And as parents, you care about your kids no matter what. Yeah. So Avery lets them know that she's just gonna find out about she has plans to try and file for Omar as soon as possible, because she wants this thing to be over with so they can be together. So yeah, next couple is Angela and Michael. So coming out of the whole meeting at the restaurant with Michael's friend, Michael is like, the next day Michael is like really quiet and obviously mad and upset with Angela, and he's hardly speaking to her. They're outside at this maybe a restaurant or something on the outside, and they're having something to drink. And Angela is there sipping on her juice. And Michael is looking, and he's like, she's like, what's the deal? He's like, I'm really upset about what happened last night. I'm very surprised. He said, I'm very disappointed. Yeah, I'm very disappointed with how you behaved, and I'm mad I'm upset and I'm very surprised. And when he said that, I was like, really, Michael, you're surprised? I'm surprised that you're surprised. Yeah. Why would you be surprised that Angela behaved the way she did? You've been with Angela from day one. Angela has been this way, and when she first came to visit you in Nigeria, that was exactly her behavior. And not only that, Angela has, when you were at the restaurant and she said to you, you said to her, you asked her what does she plan to say to your friends. She told you that she's not sure, that she's not happy to meet them, and if she gets upset, she's likely to say anything that comes to her mind. And you know what can come to Angela's mind when she's upset. You guys have had so many tiffs together. You know what happens when Angela gets upset. So surprise is not the word, yeah? Angela behaves any way she wants to behave at any point, regardless, yeah? The only person she's been able to contain herself before is your mom so far. So, Angela is saying, Michael, I behaved the way I behaved because I was really upset about not just the fact that your friends behaved the way they did, but the fact that you behaved the way you did around them and you allowed what happened to happen. And I was really hurt by that. And I'm going to be your wife. I need to know that you have my back all the time, and you're in my corner. And the only person that you put before me is God himself and your mom. And, at this point, Michael was like, I understand. And baby, I have your back. I do have your back. You don't have to worry about that. And so, Angela apologized to him, and she agreed that she's going to meet with his friend to apologize for what happened the night before. So, in order to do this, they got a mediator. Apparently, this is one of Michael's older friends that Angela met before. And Angela is letting us know that she actually likes this friend because he's been one of the few people, or one of Michael's few friends that has been supportive of their relationship, and that she can probably trust Michael to be around, who will give him good advice, in other words, advice in her favor. And unlike her other friends, will not tempt him or laugh at his relationship. So he's acting as a mediator, and he did seem like the mediator type of person. He seemed quite calm, cool, and collected, and mature as well. And so we kind of understand. I was even wondering if he was like a professional mediator or a pastor or something. But anyways, they're all sitting there. All three are back at the restaurant, it seems. Based on the setup, it looks like the same restaurant. It's just that they're there in the day now and at a different spot. And he's asking Angela if she's ready for this meeting, and if she's ready for the meeting, and if she's ready to put the whole thing behind her. And Angela said, no, not really. I'm not sure I can do that, but I will apologize for my behavior. Yeah, but I'm not sorry about what I said. So anyways, Michael's two friends, the two ones that Angela knew, the two older friends that were there the night before came. The new guy, he wasn't around, or at least we didn't see him. And they came and they shook the mediator guy's hand, forgot his name, Bo or something, Bodie. Yeah, Bodie's the mediator guy. So they shook his hand, and then the guy, Michael's other friend, oh gosh, the most outspoken one that was in the middle, he stood up to shake Michael's and was trying to shake Michael's hand, and Michael was not having it. He's like, sit down. Forgot his name. And Michael is telling us that he's still upset with that friend because he was particularly disrespectful to Angela, and he didn't like that. So he's not shaking his hand right now. And I was glad to see Michael. I mean, Michael, this episode really stood up for himself, to show that, okay, I'm the young boy here, or the younger man, but there's some things that just aren't acceptable, and I'm going to be holding everybody a task for it. You're my woman, but you behave, and I do have your back, but you were behaving really out of order the night before. That was unacceptable, and you have to do better. And he was also holding his friend that task, because his friend was also, I thought his friend was rude at that meeting, even though Angela behaved the way she did. I believe he helped, got her upset, because I would not want to be with my partner and a friend of his was, treating me the way he was treating Angela, didn't even acknowledge her at first. And then he came and he's like, so you're back, and all of that. I would be upset as well. So it was good that Michael was holding everybody at task, to fix whatever happened, because he's letting them know that this is not acceptable from my friend or from my woman. So yeah, so they got to talking, and Bodhi was like, so Angela, your guests are here. What do you have to say? And Angela is like, about what happened the night before. I apologize for that, for my behavior. However, I am not apologizing for what I'm not sorry about what I said, because I meant what I said. And I'm not interested in being you guys' friends, but because you guys really hurt me. You hurt me deeply. When I first came here, you were I saw you guys as family, because you were Michael's best friends and family to him, and and so you were my family as well. And what you did really hurt me at the time, when I really needed the support. You guys cut me deeply, and I cannot I'm still hurt by that, and I had all of that on my chest when I met with you guys. And then at the restaurant, when when certain things happen, it just brought up old wounds. And when I feel that as if I'm being hurt and attacked, I can be the sweetest woman, the most generous woman, the this, the that, all the good things. But when I feel like I'm being attacked, the lioness comes out, and that's what happened. And I'm sorry about my behavior, and however. And so both the two guys started apologizing, and this was like a big turnaround. I was like, okay, is there no more arguments here? They apologized to Angela and Michael. They said they were sorry for for how they behaved, and the fact that Michael is their good friend. He's like family, and they care about Michael, and they want him to be happy. And so they're sorry that they haven't been as supportive of the relationship in the past, and that's something they're going to be mindful of in the future, and that they still want everybody to be like a happy family and all of that. And Angela accepted their apology. They accepted her apology, and I guess, I don't know if they seem to have squashed it. Things seem to be okay for now. Michael was pleased with that, and all seems to be well between the USA and Nigeria. The next couple is Jennifer or should I say Tim and Jennifer. So Tim is coming off the whole meeting with Veronica and Jennifer. He's saying that he's happy that meeting went well. And now he's contemplating, whether, proposing to Jennifer, but he's not sure. He's not sure if he should do it, and he needs someone to speak to, because he needs some advice. And of course, the person he decides to speak to is of course Veronica. Tim, I guess he doesn't have a mother or a sister or a good male friend. He calls his ex, who they still have this weird relationship, his ex, who has no intention of going anywhere and has vested interest in Tim, because Tim takes care of her, I'm sure, monetarily, and also takes care of her daughter. He's like a father figure who also takes care of her daughter. So Veronica is not willing for Tim to go anywhere with anybody at any time, and she's gonna be there, and she's asserting herself, that she's the woman in the relationship. Even if he has another woman, she wants to be the main woman, because he ain't going nowhere. She's not going to be giving up all of those benefits she's getting. So Tim decides that he's going to call this very woman to get her opinion about what he should do, because he's unsure. And of course, Veronica in true fashion is, she starts calling up all of the reasons why Tim should think about not getting married to this woman. She's like, are you sure you want to do this? You guys have just met, you still, are getting to know each other, and you guys have been fighting a lot. And have you guys haven't even slept together? Do you want to propose to somebody or get married to someone who you haven't slept with as yet? What's up with that? Veronica seems to know what's happening or up with Tim. She's like, what's up with that? Are you sure you want to do that? At the same time, whatever you decide to do, I'm in full support of it. So of course, this doesn't help Tim at all. He's telling her that, I'm surprised by your reaction, really. he's like, I called you because I wasn't, I'm trying to build up the courage and to make sense of this, and you're just casting even more doubt. And Veronica is like, yeah, well, you need to know what you're doing and getting yourself to, this is a very important thing. And Tim, starts being like, he's going to be 14. He's turning 40 soon. And so, and, Jennifer is like, yeah, and that's exactly what it is. You're rushing into this and you need to slow things down. Maybe you don't need to be getting, you don't need to be engaged right now. Maybe what you need to do is just give her the ring as a promise that, still want to pursue the relationship. So Tim goes to pick Jennifer up. Yeah, he plans a picnic for her because I guess he's gonna be laying out this whole thing. And Jennifer is very excited. She got all dressed up in her cute black dress. Tim is taking her somewhere. She saw the picnic basket. The taxi starts driving them, all the way up this winding mountain because we just started seeing less buildings and more trees, more plants, more greenery. And it just kept going higher and higher. And Jennifer seems to know where they're going. And she's like so excited every minute of the way. She's like, oh, I can't believe you're taking. He's like, oh, I love this. And Tim is like, I should have blindfolded you. And she's like, oh, I'm so excited. Yeah. And she's really happy with what Tim is planning, because what we've seen from Jennifer so far, she seems to be like an outdoorsy woman who loves to be in the nature, or who loves to go on trips or rides and try new adventurous things. Yeah. So she's excited that Tim is finally taking her to do something that she wants to do, and she's not the one dragging him somewhere. So yeah, they're seated. The picnic stuff are set out, and they're having a wonderful time. And Jennifer is like, Tim, I've been wondering. You don't seem to be too interested in in sleeping with me, or be too interested in any of all that stuff. And I've been thinking that it occurred to me that maybe you're gay or something. And Tim is sitting there, and he's like, yeah, flashing, batting his long dark lashes, kind of like, okay, yeah, like I've heard this before. And yeah, I've heard this kind of thing before. It's not shocking that you would think that. But no, I mean, he didn't say that, but that was his expression, because I'm thinking that any straight guy that I if I'm talking to any straight guy that I know of, and I say to them, are you gay or something, they would probably be like, what? That would be the same expression, like, what? Yeah, like, why would he ask something like that? But for Tim, it was like, it was quite calm. It was like, yeah, I've heard this before. Yeah. He didn't even seem too annoyed. It was just like, yeah, I knew this was coming. So he's like, no, I'm not gay, not because we haven't had sex yet. And, it just hasn't happened because, I just, overthink things. I'm not gay. So Jennifer is like, okay. So he takes Jennifer up, and they start walking along this path. And, he's like, I have something I need to, tell you or something. And he's like, I love you very much. And I want to prove myself, and I want this relationship to continue, or something like that. And, before I leave here, I actually brought something for you that I want to give you. I need to cut the box with the ring that Veronica gave him. Yeah. Veronica's ex-proposal ring. And he gave it to Jennifer. And of course, Jennifer is like, oh, she's so excited. Yeah. And she's, she puts it on and she hugs Tim. And then Tim is like, because apparently he was going to say something, and then she jumps in his arm to hug him. And he's like, okay. But then he realizes he actually has to still say it. So he's like, she's like, this is, a proposal or something. And it's like, no, actually it's a promise ring. So Jennifer is like, promise ring? What's that? What's a promise ring? Like they're teenagers. So she's like, I've never heard of a promise ring before, but okay, it's a ring, and basically I guess he's leaving soon. I guess it means that, we're still going to continue whatever this is, I mean, it's whatever. I'm talking to other men anyways. He's just another American guy that will be sending me money and sending me fashion over things. So, I mean, what does it hurt anyways? So, she's like, okay, Tim is like, we've been having some challenges and we're still getting to know each other, and we need to, you know, I think we need to adjust to each other better. And so I don't think we're ready for an engagement, but I just want you to know that, I want to string you along some more, while I'm in the US, and use you as a beard or whatever it is I'm hiding. So I can show people that, oh, this is my hot Colombian girlfriend. Yeah. And we're promised. So, obviously I'm normal. There's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing to question. So, Jennifer's like, okay, yeah. All right, I'll accept this. It's a beautiful ring, and yeah, what the hell. So the next day there we're in the same spot again, at their Airbnb or whatever, it's rental. They're in the living room. It's the morning. Tim is making breakfast for Jennifer again. She's sitting in the couch like she normally does. She's kind of like, she's not looking as annoyed as normal, but it was kind of like, because I guess she's gotten used to this whole thing already, and it's like, it's just again. And Tim is acting like, everything is all normal, and Jennifer is letting us know that they actually spent the night together again. And she said, Tim, you fell asleep really early, And when she said that, I was like, Tim is unbelievable. Yeah. He's just determined not to sleep with this woman. He actually fell asleep early. Which man does that? Yeah. You have a woman beside you that, is supposedly a hot, beautiful woman. And you say that she's a hot, beautiful woman. But you go to bed and you fall asleep right away. It's kind of like letting her know that, okay, nothing's going to happen. Go to sleep. Don't bother me. Yeah. So Tim is like the woman in this relationship, and he's like, I was just really tired. We had a very long day. Yeah. Because I took it to a picnic, and I guess maybe that little walk or whatever it was, was just too stressful on me. And so I was just really tired, and yeah, I just fell asleep. So Jennifer's like, okay, I was hoping that something would have happened, but whatever. I'm used to this foolishness by now. So Tim tells us that, he's taking Jennifer to this spa day, because obviously he had actually said to her, when he gave the excuse about being tired, he's like, I'm sure that, at some point in the relationship, you're going to also tell me that you're tired. And she's like, no, darling, I'm not that kind of woman. Yeah. In other words, I'm the man in this relationship, and you're the female, because you're not going to, I'm the one with the sexually, full sexually charged energy, and you're like the female who's always tired and having a headache or whatever it is. So she was like, no, that's not going to happen. And that didn't seem to do anything for Tim. It was like, I don't care. It's like this woman is giving him all the cues. Yeah. She's making all the flirts. She's putting it all out there. Yeah. So I think that Tim is just not attracted to Jennifer he's attracted to her, but he's not physically attracted to her. And I've been, just saying this, not calling him gay. He could be gay. He could be transgender. He could be bi. He could be figuring things out, or maybe he has sex problems. Maybe he has some real medical problems that he needs to get checked out. Who knows? Yeah, I'm not diagnosing, but my point is, I've been around a few gay people, or I've been out and been around gay people, and gay people love to be around beautiful women too. Yeah. They find people attractive, and they'll come up to you and say, I like this about you. You're attractive, or whatever, or you look good, and they'll compliment you on your features, and sometimes on what you're wearing too. So let's not get this thing, confused. Gay men like to be around beautiful women and beautiful people. Yeah. And stylish people, and they also like to be stylish themselves. And most of the time, they're not even trying to hide anything. They're out and loud and proud, but they like to be around beautiful women, and they will find women attractive. That's not odd. It's just like some women will say, that woman is beautiful. That's an attractive woman. Yeah. It doesn't mean you want to sleep with them. And I think that's the thing with Tim. Tim does not want to be with Jennifer whatsoever. He's completely not interested, but he's stringing her along for whatever reasons. So he takes her to this spa, and Jennifer is, they're getting their lying down and getting their facial done. And Jennifer is like, am I with my boyfriend or with my girlfriend? It feels like I'm with my girlfriend. So they go in the hot tub together. Yeah. And, Jennifer is there. She's like, this ring is so beautiful. She's like, where did you get it from? Where did you buy it? So Tim is like, where? She's like, yeah, where did you buy this ring? Actually, I've had this ring for for many years now. It was actually a gift for Veronica, but when we were at the party, the farewell party that she did for me in the States, she actually gave me this ring as a kind gesture to give it to you, as a sign of friendship that she wants me to give it to you. So Jennifer is like, you didn't buy this ring? He's like, no. I mean, yeah, it's just that I had gotten it for Veronica, but so she's like, so this is actually Veronica's gift, not yours. So he's like, don't say that, he's like, don't make a big deal out of it. How dare you say not to make a big deal out of things, Tim? Like, really? Yeah? Don't make a big deal out of it when this, what you're doing makes completely no sense. So, Jennifer is quite upset. She's like, I don't want this anymore. I don't want this. This is trash. Basically, it's somebody else's gift that they didn't want, and you're giving it to me. You got this ring with somebody else in mind. You bought it for somebody else in mind. Yeah. And now you're giving it to me, and you're telling me that, And he's like, well, yes, I didn't know you at the time. So Jennifer's like, I don't want this. Yeah. How dare Tim? Yeah. It's like Tim is intentionally trying to sabotage this relationship. Every minute he does something, and this is like the last straw. Jennifer is a better woman than me because I would not be dealing with Tim in the first place. He's just not my speed. Yeah, and it's not even about the sexual thing because it's not even about the sexual thing because it's not even about the fact that they haven't had sex. I happen to think, okay, it's fine if they wait a bit. But the fact is, there's no sexual energy. It's obvious this man doesn't want you. It's very obvious he's not attracted to you. So Jennifer is, I think she's just doing out her little bid, for this television program. It's a chance for her to shine, yeah, and whatever attention she'll get from it in Colombia, and for future, dating prospects or American husband maybe. And also, she's probably getting some money from it, from the show, or maybe Tim is paying her himself. I don't know, but that's the only reason I could see why she's subjecting herself to this whole show and this whole embarrassment and having to deal with Tim and his foolishness. Because Tim seems like he's trying to destroy this relationship. It's that he doesn't want to say, I'm done with this. I think we should move or go our separate ways. Instead of doing all of that, he's like, trying to do everything to get her to be so frustrated with him that this whole thing is over. The next couple is who have I not covered, guys? So I did Avery, I did Angela, I did Avery first, it was, then Angela, then I did Tim and Jennifer. So who's left? So let's talk about Darcey and Tom. I think after that I just have one more couple left, Darcey and Tom. Have I covered everybody? I'm losing track. Oh no, I have two more people left. Okay, let's talk about Darcey and Tom, right? So Darcey's all dressed up as usual, this time she's in a flirt. As usual, it's tight as hell. But she had on this dress that had a little flirty skirt to it, so it's like obvious she's going, she's going partying. And Tom, with his corny line, they're going up the escalator. Darcey has her big fur shawl or whatever, or stole, and looking almost like a Hollywood queen from here up. But then the rest is like party club young girl vibe. Bearing in mind, Darcey's 40-something years or whatever. But, I ain't hating on Darcey and how she dresses up and everything. I think it's cute, and as long as you're able to do it, she paid all her money to take care of herself, why not show it? So Tom is, is like, shine bright like a diamond, because Darcey, I guess, had on a lot of bling. And I'm like, seriously, Tom, you're so damn corny, That line was so corny coming from you. So they're going, into this club, and they're stopped by this mirror, and they're both looking, fixing themselves, and this is where we see that, okay, these guys are getting really comfortable with each other, and Darcey's telling us that things have been going well so far, back in Nottingham, back in the UK, and they're apparently going dancing. And Tom is telling us that, this is his favorite pastime. He's been doing this for what, 20 years, he said, with his sister. This is something they always do, and he loves to dance, yeah? And so we see a different side of Tom, and it's like, okay, yeah. Tom is putting it down on the dance floor. He actually knows what he's doing, it's not like he lied to us this time. When he said he's actually been dancing for 20 years, you can see that, okay, this man has actually been going to the salsa club and dancing for a bit now. He knows what he's doing. So he goes in and he starts dancing with his sister. Everybody greets his sister and his sister's partner. And then he and his sister start stirring it up on the dance floor, and they're doing their salsa move and everything, and they look quite comfortable doing it. And you're like, okay, yeah. And Darcey's also liking this side, she's out clubbing, and this time she decides she wants to have a good time. The last time she's been out clubbing, it's been a mess, but this time she's ready to have a good time, and she's in the mood to dance. She's dressed for it and everything. She's out with her man, feeling herself. And yeah, she's in the mood for dancing and having a good time. So, Tom is there, and she sees that obviously he knows what he's doing. And, Tom comes back over to her, and, Darcey is like really feeling sexy, and she's feeling, she's feeling good about herself, and she just wants to have a good time. Yeah. But Darcey, obviously, for the life of her, cannot do she doesn't know anything about salsa dancing. Maybe she's heard Latin music before, and she does what a typical newbie would probably do, like shake her bum or do a thing, or pretend like, I know, but she actually doesn't know any technique. She doesn't know how to do any dance, yeah, salsa dance. And yeah, she's rubbing up on Tim, she's like dancing, flirting with him and thing, and Tim is doing the same with her. But Tim wants to go and dance and do his salsa dancing, and he wants to be with somebody. He wants to be dancing around with, he's there for that. He wants to be dancing and doing the whole thing and all his techniques that he knows. He doesn't just want to be grinding upon Darcey. I mean, he did that for a bit, but, he was bored. He told us that, that's boring for him. He wants to be dancing, and Darcey doesn't really, I mean, it's obvious she wants to have a good time, and she's trying, but, she doesn't know how to do salsa dancing. And I can understand that because, I've been out with friends before, Latin dancing, and then specifically, for learning Latin dancing, and even going to a Latin club separately, and seeing everybody tearing up the floor. And it's something that you just want to get into, and Darcey would like to learn, but today is not the day. Tom is there to have fun, and I can understand that he doesn't want to be spending the whole night standing up with Darcey, and just doing that when he, everybody's on the dance floor tearing up the floor, and you know what you're doing, and you just want to have a good time. And so then Tom is there with her, and then a lady comes over, and she's like, hey, Tom, and they embrace. She's like, hi, and then she's like, they start dancing. She didn't even say anything to Darcey. Tom didn't do any introduction, and they started dancing, and they're up on the floor, tearing up the floor, and he's like flipping her and everything. And Darcey was just there, at the bar, like, at one point, like, what? Yeah, like, he's like, what just happened, And Tom's sister, Emma's partner, he was standing beside her, and Darcey's like, what just happened? And he's like, yeah, he's dancing with somebody. And she's like, she didn't even say anything. She didn't even ask me, can I dance with your man or anything? She completely ignored me. And they're dancing, and Darcey, and he's like, yeah, that's kind of how it works here, This is kind of the vibe in the Latin club, and I understand that, not only as somebody who has visited a Latin dance, whatever, but also as a Jamaican, going to a regular Jamaican club, and where they play dancehall and everything else in between. People want to have a good time when you're there, and everybody's trying to have a vibe and have a good time, and especially when you have dancehall music playing, and then everybody starts dancing together, and you almost think that it's a choreograph. Like you would think that people actually practice before, because you see people doing the same moves, and it's because you have different actual dance moves that everybody knows, and when certain things starts playing, everybody starts doing a particular dance that goes with that song, and you just want to have a good time. And you'll be there, and you'll be dancing with somebody else, and you're doing some of the moves, and then all of a sudden on the dance floor, and people get acquainted, male and female female and female and even group of men start dancing together, but it's not like Latin music all the time where it's very close and sensual. It's just like having a good time. And then of course you have the time where it's actually winding upon each other, yeah. And it may happen, sometimes people who have just met will do that. But yes, the only time you don't do something like that for me, well, I'm not winding up on anybody that I just met, just like that. It's all for fun, but I'll do the other dances, but nobody's gonna come behind me and just start winding up some strange guy and it's like cool like that. I've never been that kind of girl. Some people aren't, yeah? Some people are. And of course, that's the only thing that you would not do when you have a man, your man beside you. You would not be winding up with another guy. But all the other dances you'd be doing because you want to have a good time. You went out to have a good time, and it's hard to go there. And all of this is happening, and you're just standing in the corner with the guy you're with because maybe he doesn't know how to do it, or he's not from there and he doesn't know what he's doing. And you might try and show him a thing or two, yeah. But then there are times when everybody's dancing together, and you just get into it, yeah. And he can join along and try, or just stay to the side while you have a good time. So I completely understand that. It's just that's the vibe with Latin music and being in a Latin club environment. And Darcey's Tom's sister is trying to man is explaining this to Darcey, and Darcey's like, yeah. But at the same time, she's obviously envious because after that, he and that girl stopped dancing. He didn't even get a chance to go over to the bar. Another girl came up and they started dancing, and then another one came up. And then the sister came across and she's like, looking at Darcey, and she's like, Tom is a real slut on the dance floor, isn't he? That's kind of what happens here. And she just takes Darcey away for a minute, because she sees that Darcey's obviously not, she's obviously not understanding this whole thing, and she's still, behaving jealous. And, she's like, this is kind of the vibe here, and Tom is a very outgoing person. He likes to have a good time. He enjoys doing this. And, Darcey's like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just like he's dancing with a lot of beautiful women. And, they're dancing together. And I'm here and I kind of feel ignored, because, I'm all dressed up and everything, looking all good and, putting my best foot forward and everything. And I want to dance with him as well. And I barely got a second with him to dance. And this says that, yeah, that's kind of what it is like here, And Darcey should have understood it's not like if he was at a regular club, and he was out on the dance floor dancing with, and they're there together, and he was out on the dance floor grinding up with some other woman or talking to some other woman, then that would be a problem. And even then, even if they had gone to another club together and they start playing some Latin music, and then you had in the middle of the floor somebody who obviously knows what they're doing and he knows what he's doing, and they decide to just go on, and do that thing together. Even then, I don't think it would have been I don't think it's a problem. I just think, as long as they're not gyrating too much and not, getting too sensual or inappropriate. But, Darcey was like, ready to cry when the sister is explaining all this to her. And, she's like, I don't know. Yeah. And the sister's like, well, honey, this is Tom for you. Tom is a free spirit and he's not a kept man, yeah? He's not going to be the kind of man who is at home sitting down, yeah? And not doing things. This is what he likes to do, and he wants somebody who can understand that, and not going to, and won't be having problems and start, having a fit and start crying and, asking him not to do this or not to be himself. Sorry, guys, because, if that starts to happen, it's not going to work for him. You're going to push him away. And Darcey's like, I know this, and I'm trying not to do that. I'm just, and this is like, I know, you're not feeling so self-confident, but that's something that you have to work on for yourself, because he needs that kind of woman, a woman who's just, what she says, he's a successful, confident man. Yeah. Who's sure of himself. And he wants somebody who can deal with that and who's also confident and knows herself, and will allow him to be him. And, Darcey's like, yeah, I know. And I'm trying, but it's hard, because we all know Darcey's not really that kind of woman at all. And the sister's like, maybe you just need to find out where you guys stand, because, she's like, you're leaving soon, going back to the state. Maybe you just need to find out where you guys stand. And Darcey's like, but how do I do that? She's like, well, just ask him, Darcey's like, but I don't, I'm not sure, if I'm afraid to. And she's like, why? This is something you need to know, and Darcy's like, but how would I ask him? Like, how would I ask something that Darcy's such a kid? And Emma, in her grown ass woman self, is trying to tell, Darcy, a grown ass woman, how to behave like a grown ass woman. She's like, well, when you get home, she's like, when you guys get a chance, you just say to him that, I just want to know, if we're exclusive. No, Darcy's like, I don't know if, she's like, what's your situation? Where are you guys? And Darcy's like, I don't know. I don't know if we're exclusive or what. And the sister's like, well, you just need to find out. You need to go to him and you need to say, Tom, I'm somebody who has a lot, who has a bit of neediness sometimes, and I just want to know where we stand. What her situation is like. Because I'm about to be going back home, and I want to know if this is worth investing in. And and you have a right to. And Darcy's like, yeah, that makes sense, but I'm afraid, I'll push him away by asking. And sister's like, you shouldn't be afraid. This is something you need to know, and you need to ask him. And the worst that can happen is he'll say, yeah, I'm seeing other women and I'm sleeping with other women, and then you will know what's happening. You can know what position you're in, and how to move forward from that. And Darcy's like, yes, you're right. Yeah. So then she takes her back on the inside, and Tom was came to meet them, and they said, I've brought your woman back, and she's like, and she has something to ask you. So of course Darcy's thrown off by this, because she she's like, okay, she's afraid to ask, she's timid, and she it's like, okay, I know I have to do this. And Tom is like, okay, what do you have to ask me? Yeah, say it. And she's like, iffing and delaying. And Tom is like, what is it? Looking back at the sister, and she's like, well, I just want to know, are we, I like her voice breaks. It's like she almost had her voice broke for me. Are we exclusive? And Tom is like, what? Exclusive? Is this like an American thing? And Darcy looks at him and she's like, because for a moment she's like, really, an American thing? That's what you're using this time? You're not going to answer? And this time Tom actually answered. He's like, okay, well, not because I'm dancing with other women, it means that we're not together, and I'm not with you. And for the record, we're exclusive. Yeah, I really like you. Or did he say I love you? Whatever. No, did he actually say that this time? No, he just says, I want to be with you, and we're exclusive, basically. So Darcy was like, so this is the happiest we've seen Darcy in the longest time. Darcy's like, yeah. So I was like, poor Darcy. So, she's like, really? And Tom is like, yeah. So the sister's like, okay, I'm off now, because, this whole high school thing is getting too much for me. And yeah, so Darcy's like really happy now. She's overjoyed. This is the best thing in the world for her. We know Darcy, is like a teenager sometimes, and she, is like using her like, are we exclusive? And Tom basically confirmed what she wanted to know. He lets her know that, we're in a relationship and I care about you. And yeah, all is good. So the next couple is, let's talk about Zayed, or more like Rebecca and Zayed, right? So Rebecca and Zayed are still in the desert, yeah? And they're going out in the morning. Zayed is taking Rebecca, to do some activities, and the activity is ATV driving. And of course, this is for Zayed, because Zayed is like a little kid, in a cookie store, or at Christmas time. He loves riding on ATVs. I guess most men are, it's not, and he's like the happiest thing, he's taking Rebecca out on her dime to ride, to go ATV riding. And Rebecca could really care less, obviously she's not too excited about this, but she's doing it anyways, because, yeah, she's taking her kid around, and, this is what you do, you entertain your kids. So she's riding, they're on it, each have their own ride, and Rebecca is trailing behind him. He's excited and he's going fast, and Rebecca is like, this is not so easy, and she's kind of taking her time and being careful. And they did all of that, had a ball. They got back to the tents, or the accommodation, and or maybe it was somewhere else out where I guess they took the ATV and they went to another section of the desert to have something to eat or whatever. And so, they're seated around the table, waiting on their food. And, Rebecca is looking at Zayed and, she's like, I love you so much. And Zayed's like, I love you so much. Yeah. And, Rebecca is like, so Zayed, I have something to tell you. So he's like, what? She's like, I have something that I need to tell you. So Zayed is like looking at her now like, what is it this time, bitch? What is it this time? Yeah. The last time, every time you have something to tell me, it's you breaking some news that I really don't care to know about. Yeah. What is it that you have to? She's like, what? She's like, well, before I came here, I actually filed the papers for my divorce. And we're still doing the paperwork. And so I'm technically still married. Yeah. So of course, Zayed looks at her. It's like, like, this is unbelievable. Am I hearing right? He's like, I am? You what? So Rebecca repeats, she's like, I'm still, I'm still filing paperwork, so I'm still married. So you could literally hear him sighing. He's like, and at this point, the camera pans to his hand, because he was like, you could almost hear his hand cricking. It's like camera pans to his hand. I don't know why they did that. It's like, I don't know why they're trying to give us the impression that, he could literally knock her over, because I mean, this is a man, he heard something, he heard some news, some shocking news for him. And, his blood is boiling and he's angry. And, he's doing this, so I mean, I think that's kind of like a natural reaction. It doesn't mean that he's trying to prevent himself from knocking Rebecca over, even though, we get this impression that, he's a very possessive kind of guy, because, in the way he handles Rebecca sometimes, people have the impression that he's that kind of person. But, considering what he just heard, this is a guy from a Muslim background, and he's already broken one or two rules. Yes, he's already sleeping with a woman who, by right, based on his culture and his religious background, he should not be sleeping with somebody before they're married. And his parents obviously don't approve of that, but he's been doing it anyways. Yeah, so that's one rule he's broken. But the man still has some standards. Yeah. And one of them is he doesn't believe in being with a married woman. And I can understand this, because it's not even just a Muslim thing. There are other men who have this standard, and even if from a religious background, there are Christian men who don't believe in this either. They don't believe in being with a woman who's married. Yeah. And Rebecca is letting him know that, okay, I've been married this whole time. I've not been in the process of filing for a divorce. I've been married. And this whole time, she's giving the impression that she's single. So Zayed is like, so why you didn't say this to me before? You are married, yeah? So your ex, your ex is basically, is not really your ex. He's, in fact, your husband. So Rebecca is like, she's tripping, and she's like, no, that's not true. We both signed the paperwork. Like, that's not, it doesn't matter, Rebecca. We both signed the paperwork. What does it have to do with anything? You're still technically married and you didn't tell this man. Yeah, this is something important you would tell somebody. Let him decide that, okay, I'm gonna pursue this relationship with this woman, knowing that I probably cannot marry her myself, or she's basically still legally married to another man. So this is something he should know. Not to mention whatever moral reasons he would have otherwise. So he's like, why didn't you say this whole time? She's like, I don't know. He's like, seriously? That's your answer all this time? You don't know. Of all the things that you could have said, you told me about the fact that you were a lesbian before. You told me about the fact that you dated somebody from this country before. What were the other bombs that she dropped, little by little? And now you're telling me at this last minute, right before you're about to leave, after we've spent so much time together, you had the chance to tell me before you came here. Yeah. Oh, I forgot the most important thing. She catfished this man. Yeah. When she came, he basically met a different woman. He still liked that woman, but the fact is, Rebecca has been lying all this time, and now she's finally decided to tell him that she's a married woman when she's about to be leaving after these people have spent so much time together. This guy is invested. This guy has slept with her so many times, yeah, and now he's knowing that he's been sleeping with a married woman. So Zaid is very upset. Yeah, Zaid is really upset. So, when Rebecca is telling him that she doesn't know, he's like, and, she's coming up with the excuse that, we both signed it, because she tried mentioning that again, we both signed the paperwork. Like, she knows that don't make any sense. And she knows it, it's not even important, but she keeps repeating it like a broken record. Like, we've signed the paper before, I just need to go back to the court one more time and do some more paperwork, and then it's finalized. And Zaid is like, you're still a married woman. She's like, what did he say? He's like, you are a woman married. You a woman married. Yeah. So it's not important whether you have one more paperwork, you have one more court visit to do, or how much other paperwork you have, and who signed whatever. The fact is, you're still a married woman, and you came here this whole time and you never said anything. So Zaid is very upset. Zaid got up from around the table and walked away. Yeah. And Rebecca is sitting back there. She's like, wow. She don't know what to do. Yeah. So Zaid went out to this other section, another table, seated. And then Rebecca got up and, finally followed him. And she's like, Zaid, Zaid said, when Zaid got up, he said, listen, I do not accept this. I do not accept this. This is unacceptable. So she got up and she's like, she went over to him. She's like, Zaid, I'm sorry. Like, is it at this point, like, really, you think that's gonna cut it? So Zaid is like, me no talk to me. So, and, for a while now, we've all gotten used to Zaid's accent and his English, and we know that he, pronounces everything in a weird way. Because when he says, you are married, yeah. But Rebecca knows what this man is saying. And all of a sudden, she's pretending like she for the first time, she don't understand what he's saying. She's like, what? He's like, me no talk, me no, I know, bitch, you know what I mean? He's like, me no chatting to you, Rebecca. She's like, and then, she's like, why? Do you want a slap to know why? Yeah. This is the one time if you actually had slapped the hell out of her, I'd be like, okay, well, yeah. Yeah, I know everybody would be up and screaming and everything, but this would be the time when she deserved it, yeah? Because she's going to be, after what she just dropped on this man, yeah? She's going to pretend like she's naive and she's going to be like, why? He doesn't want to talk to you. Why? He's like, I don't want to talk to you right now because I'm upset. Yeah, you need to go in your corner, go over to your space and leave me alone because you just told me the worst thing. And I'm very upset and I don't want to be seeing you right now. You are a catfishing, lying, old, lesbian, whatever, all the things that he could say about this woman that she has lied about this whole time. Yeah, married bitch. And you've been lying from day one. Yeah, I know you're going to come and tell me this at this last minute that you're a married woman. You're still married. So Rebecca even, she's standing there and, Zaid is like, listen, he got up again because he's ready to walk away again because Rebecca is still standing there and he doesn't want to. He says right now, if Rebecca goes back, the best thing would be for Rebecca to go back where she come from because he don't want to look on this woman's face. He don't even want to look at this woman's face. So he's telling Rebecca, he's getting up to leave and Rebecca's like, it's okay, I'll go, I'll leave. And she walks away. And then she went back to this tent and she's sitting there and she's like, she doesn't know what to do. This is the worst thing. I guess she didn't expect that he would react this way of all the reactions. She didn't expect that he would be this upset. So Zaid jumped on 80. I don't know when he called over the guy. I guess the guy that, brought him or the ATV guy. and he jumped on the ATV and it just sped off, took Zaid away off into the sunset. We don't even know where he went, because he's like had enough of Rebecca and he doesn't want to talk to her. And Rebecca is like, Zaid, where are you going? Like, he's leaving you, woman. He doesn't want to see you right now. So Rebecca is, telling us that, this is the worst thing, if Zaid is gone, and if he doesn't return, or, if he doesn't want to talk to her, or wants, if he wants to end it, this is, she doesn't know what she'll do. Because according to her, yeah, if this doesn't work out with Zaid was the best person for her, yeah, and her last chance at love or something like that. And if this doesn't work out, she doesn't know, what to do, or, she'll not have another. Oh, she said, if this doesn't work out, I won't have another chance. Another chance at what, Rebecca? Did you go to a store and, did you go to like almost like an animal shelter? Did you go to a specific shelter for younger foreign men who want US visas from pathetic, pathetic American women who will do anything? You come over there, you lie, yeah, all in the chase of the almighty D. Yeah. Did you go to a special store? And did you take the last kind of that guy? Because I mean, the first one was your ex from Tunisia as well. So is it like there's a special store where you find Tunisian men like this, and you've gotten the last single one that was left, and they're out of stock, and they don't have any more, and they won't have any more at all? It's like, when she says, I'm like, what does this woman mean by I will not have another chance? She won't have another chance at love. What does that mean, Rebecca? I would really love to know what Rebecca means by this. I won't have another chance after Zaid. Yeah, because there aren't as many desperate guys as him left in Tunisia who will be with a woman like me. So this is my last chance. I still want to know what that means, because I could interpret that so many ways, guys. Anyways, next couple is Akini and Benjamin. So Benjamin is outside, on the rooftop. And he's still thinking, because he's preparing for the next day, and he's still worried about it and a bit stressed. And Akini came up there to meet him up the stairs. And, it's like she just ran a marathon. She's like, oh, these damn steps. Hi, Benjamin. What's happening? So Benjamin's like, hey, Akini, can we talk? Talk? What's on your mind, Benjamin? What's wrong? So Akini was like so out of breath the whole time. It was so funny. So Benjamin is like, I just need to talk to you. Tomorrow I'm supposed to be meeting with your dad, and we're going to be married after, the whole negotiation. And I just want to be sure that we're doing the right thing, that, we're going to be okay together. And Benjamin is like, why would you ask that? Yeah, of course we're okay. Of course we're doing the right thing. Are you not sure? He's like, I mean, I love you. You're perfect. You're this, you're whatever. But I just want to be 110% sure. And I'm like, why just 110%? If you're going to go past 100%, why not just say, I want to be 200% sure, or 190% or something? I want to be 110% sure. So Akin is like, have I not been giving you more than 100% to be sure of? And, I'm like, no. And Benjamin is like, yeah, it's just that, how do I know that, how do I know that we're going to get along with my son? And Akini, at this point, Akini put on the best speech ever. I didn't even know she had it in her, because this is like a complete 360, yeah? She's like, I don't know how your son is going to react, but what I do know is I love him anyways, whether he'll accept me or whether he'll hate me or, accept a relationship. I love him anyways, yeah? And, this is just what Benjamin wanted to hear. And the whole time I was like, okay, when did Akini make this jump? Yeah, because the last time she wasn't sure that she even wanted to be a mom, yeah, or a stepmom. And now she's like, I love your child anyways. And then, she's telling us that, Benjamin is starting to have doubts, and it sounds like he doesn't, he started to have doubts, and I didn't want him to, because of his son or the whole situation, to not want to marry me anymore. So I told him what I did, and when she said, I was kind of like side eyes, like, okay, so you're telling us that you just said all of that because the man sounded like he didn't want to go ahead with the whole proposal and marrying you, or the whole negotiation and marrying you, and because you want to make sure that he still marries you, you told him what he wanted to hear. That's basically what you're saying. Yeah, she's telling us that Benjamin comes along with a package, and she's willing to accept the package because it's a part of him. So yeah, they're both settled that Akini told Benjamin she loves him as well, and yeah, basically everything will be fine. So the next day, they're in their living room area or kitchen area. Benjamin is making breakfast, and Akini is very nervous. Benjamin is very nervous because today is the day that he's supposed to be meeting with her father and her family to negotiate the bride price. And Akini is like, okay, so do you have everything ready? And then they start giving us a recap. I don't remember seeing this part before, where Akini basically told Benjamin to go buy some groceries for the family, as a part of the whole thing. And I was like, really, groceries? And she's in this little shop, and she's like, okay, can we have some? Maybe I'm guessing this is a case of rice, or a pack of rice, a pack of sugar, a pack of baking powder, or something, a pack of flour. What was the other thing? And some oil, yeah, and some other stuff. And she's like, how much? And the guy's like, that's gonna be $8,000. And I was like, wow, okay. I wasn't sure what. Yeah, I'm guessing maybe that she got some. Oops, sorry. Wow. Sorry. I'm guessing that she got some bulk things to feed the whole family and relative. And that's a family. And I'm talking about just her mom and dad, but her sisters, her brothers, her uncles, her nephews, and everything. Yeah. So Benjamin is buying up all these things. And because what's her name? Akini told him that apparently he needs to get grocery as well as a part of his preparation. And I'm like, to me, that was just so pathetic. It would be better if, in my opinion, if he just gave them some money. Yeah, because as far as the father, according to what the father said, yeah, who was it? Abraham's son was to be marrying Rebecca, or was it? I forgot. Yeah, that Abraham and his son gave the mom and the dad of Rebecca all kinds of riches. Yeah, expensive gold, silver, jewelry. Yeah, diamond, whatever else. Yeah, all of these riches. They gave the family so many expensive gifts. And now Benjamin is buying flour, sugar, rice to take to the family. And I'm like, okay. To me, that was just so tacky. It's like, okay, this man is feeding your family now. It's like, it would be better if he just gave them hard cash, to say, okay, this is the amount. Okay. Just like what's her name did with Omar, it's like, okay, even though that was for a different thing, but it would have been better if Benjamin had just written a check, or at least gotten the cash and put it in an envelope and say, okay, this is what I'm offering, because obviously he ain't going to be giving them any gold and silver and all of them things, because as we've seen, Benjamin ain't got no money. Yeah, Benjamin doesn't have the money for that. So they're back at the house, and so they're at the house because this was just like a recap, or showing us what happened. And so Akini says to Benjamin, okay, so with all of that, how much money do you have left? So Benjamin told her how much money he has. So she's like, okay, what I want to know is, how much money are you going to be taking to my family, to my dad? How much money are you going to be taking to this negotiation? So Benjamin is like, okay, I'm going to go to the bank, and when I go to the bank, I'm going to draw all of what I have, and I will have 80,000 shillings, he said. So Akini is like, 80,000 shillings? Did he say 80,000 shillings or 800,000 shillings? I don't know, but it sounded like a lot. A lot of money in shillings. But then, of course, I start figuring out. We start figuring out that the fact that they went to the store and spent $8,000. It's obvious that Kenyan money is, the inflation rate is kind of like Jamaican money, except theirs it's a bit worse because I was like, wow, yeah. I mean, later we saw what they actually brought into the house, so it's like, okay, maybe I guess that makes sense. But yeah, Kenya's inflation rate is out the ceiling, yeah. And so when he says 800,000, I was like, okay, that's probably Kenyan money, yeah. And then I started thinking about Cuban, visiting Cuba and Cuba's money, where they have the local money, and then they have the exchangeable Cuban money. I forgot what they call it. You have the CC, which is the exchangeable, which is supposed to be on the stock. Well, you're not really on the stock exchange, but if you're changing from US or Euro or even whatever, it's changed to the CC Cuban money. Is it CC or C? I forgot. It's this exchange rate that is supposed to be exchangeable. And then you have the local rate, yeah, which is a different thing. So, you only use that maybe if you're going to a store or to a shop to buy food, or you're going to a local supermarket. But if you're doing business that, for example, paying hotel accommodation, you will be using that higher exchange rate, yeah. And then I had to figure that out because I was like, okay, I didn't even know this until and the person was like, no, this is the local currency. And I was like, crap. And then, the exchangeable currency is kind of like a couple times that. So if you had like, let's say 300 of that local currency, would be equal to maybe about 50 of the exchangeable rate or something like that. And you're like, okay. So I'm thinking it's something like that. So Akini is like, that's all? And, Benjamin is like, yeah. So she's like, I'm going to tell you now, yeah? They're going to tell you that's not enough money. They're going to say that's not enough money. So you need to get more, yeah? You need to, yeah. So Akini is telling us that 800,000 shillings he has, or 80,000 shillings, whatever it is. She says that's equivalent to about 800 Kenyan dollars, or was it 3,000 Kenyan? She said it's equal to about 800 or whatever Kenyan dollars. Yeah, but it wasn't that much money. It's something like 800 Kenyan dollars or something. Yeah. So, or did she say 800 US dollars? I don't know, but she says it's equal to $800. And I'm assuming it's Kenyan dollars, or it could be American dollars. Either way, it's not enough money. So, Akini's very nervous. She's like, right now, she's like, I'm so nervous right now. I can't even eat the breakfast. The breakfast that he just prepared. She's like, I can't even eat my breakfast. I'm so nervous. I'm so worried. Yeah. And Benjamin, at this point, Benjamin came over to her and he's like, I love you very much. And there's one more thing that I should do before I go. Because she's like, are you going to the bank now? Yeah. Because maybe you could make some miracle happen like Jesus, and instead of one loaf of bread and one fish, you can turn this into a couple thousands. So, she's like, yeah, but before I do, I have something to, there's something I must do. So he pulls out this box before Akini, and, he shows this cute ring. And Akini is like, oh, Benjamin, oh my God. I was not expecting this. She's like, wow. He's like, Akini, will you marry me? And Akini's like, yeah, but first you need to go on your knee. You need to do it. You need to go on your knees. So he goes on his knees, and she's like, oh, I'm so excited. She's like, oh, Benjamin, this is so nice. It was a nice ring. I think she said the ring was nice. And she's like, no one's ever proposed to me before. It's like, oh, it's just like in the movies with all the white people I've watched, you're going down on your knees. Yeah. She was excited about that. And then, she's like, I feel like he tried to put the ring on and it wasn't fitting. So he's like, oh, Akini's like, oh, it's such a nice ring. So yeah, it's okay. I'll have to get it refitted or something. And I'm like, really? I mean, you can understand his challenge. It's the first time he's meeting this woman. And, he didn't know a ring size before. And you can't exactly ask her, what's your ring size? Yeah, because it's supposed to be a surprise. But I mean, you get the ring a couple. I'm just saying, other people have done engagements without meeting their partner before, and they get the ring size right. So I don't know how Benjamin managed to mess that up. So anyways, Akini was still happy about the ring, and she's like saying that, right now I feel like I'm so happy, I feel like I want to cry, but I can't even cry. What's happening, what's wrong with me? Yeah, I guess she's nervous as hell, because it's like, look, this thing is so damn stressful. You don't have enough money to go and approach my parents, and I need to be married to this American guy. Yeah, because everybody knows about this whole thing, and I'm gonna be married to this American man. Everybody knows already. Yeah, so this thing has to happen, and it looks like it's not about to happen because he doesn't have enough money. Yeah, she's saying something about the fact that this is embarrassing, that he doesn't have enough money, because she's the one that says, Benjamin needs to find this money. It doesn't matter where it comes from, or if he finds himself going broke, he needs to offer a good price. Yeah, because I guess she thinks she's worth she's worth whatever the bride price is. And she's telling us that even in her country, even men who do not have a lot of money do manage to pay at least the minimum of $3,000 and more. Yeah, because it's something that men take pride in doing, and they find the money one way or the other. Yeah, to do an engagement, to do a bride price. And so Benjamin needs to be ready. So the next thing we see, Benjamin is calling Akini, are you ready? And Benjamin is in his African getup. He's in this traditional, did I say Nigerian before? Sorry. He's in this Kenyan traditional looking dress. What do they call it? Where the men have this like long shirt, like a dress with the, pants. And, Benjamin was kind of looking good in his African prints. Yeah. Did I mention before that Akini as well was looking really beautiful with her head wrap when they were in the kitchen, with her flawless brown skin and the head wrap. She was looking like such a as we say, African princess. It's pretty general, but she was looking so regal, so beautiful, with that whole getup. And anyways, so Benjamin was not looking bad himself, and then Akini came on and she was wearing like the same printed material except in a dress. And I was like, did these guys plan this before? They like go and get a material and get a dressmaker or somebody to do, or seamstress to make matching outfits, or is it that they like have stores and they went into one and I was like, okay, that's for you, that's for me, because today's our wedding day, bitch, and and they're matching. So yeah, so they go to the father's house. The brother is there as well. And the brother comes out to meet Benjamin, and he helps him to take the stuff out of the car, and they're loading out all these big, these packet of oil, I'm guessing, and toilet paper, and all the other stuff, rice and stuff that Benjamin had bought at the shop. And to me, I was like, this is like too disgraceful. It was just so disgraceful to me, seeing Benjamin coming with food for it's like for these starving African people, I'm carrying food for these. I don't know. To me, that was just, for me, as an idea of a gift. You don't have the gold and the silver, yeah, but I mean, just give the people them some cash, negotiate cash. You carry other gifts, and it's groceries. I don't know. To buy this woman basically, or to offer as her bride price. It was just tacky to me. That's just my opinion. I don't know. I know other people that do cows and this and that, and I guess it's equated to grocery because it is food for people, or maybe they use they turn it around into milk and make a profit or something else. I don't know, but I just thought it was just really tacky. So Benjamin pack up all of these things in the people in house, and you can see that these guys are ready for this special day. Yeah, because their special doilies are out, or the special things are out. The couch is set. Everything is out, and mommy's sitting there, up in the couch, and the daddy's sitting there as well. And then you see two other women, or they show one other woman's face. And then, Benjamin goes and seats himself, to the left of Fidel, as usual. And, the father starts, he's like, Benjamin, welcome to our home. Yeah. You're basically, he's like, you are late. Yeah, because I think that's Benjamin's sister or his sister, whatever, came from near or wherever from 7 o'clock this morning, and you know, because she came out way, you know, very early, because she didn't want to take a chance to be late for this special event where we're about to be getting some money.